And more on this. Labour is set to announce housing policies this week. Party leader Andrew Little is in the Wellington studio with me. Good morning.
Dinakwa.
Let's just talk about what Nick Smith was saying there. Land banking. Do you support a compulsory buy-up of land in some circumstances?
I think what's pretty clear is the National Party is all over the place on this now because they've come to the housing issue very late. They've been in denial for years that there is actually a crisis, and they've been putting together hotch-potch schemes that look as if they're doing something. On the issue of urban development, we do need to have a comprehensive approach to it. And one of the things I'll be announcing is our approach and the means we would use to ensure that that there is development, and the issue of whether it's an agency with whatever powers. That's what I'll be announcing this weekend. And
I did ask you what the Labour position is on this, and what exactly is that? Is compulsory buy-up part of what you want to be able to have at your fingertips?
If the question is, do I have any sympathy with those who buy large tracts of land and sit on them to just wait for the capital gain, I have none whatsoever, and I think you will see that reflected in the announcement I make this weekend.
Okay, but what exactly does that mean? I'm not entirely clear on what your position is on land banking.
Yeah, I don't want to bring forward to Tuesday morning an announcement I'm due to make on Sunday, so I'm being very careful about it.
There will be something about land banking in what you're going to be saying later on this week.
What you'll hear is a comprehensive approach to the whole issue of the need for more houses and more building, and whether it's houses for people to own as their first home and therefore affordable, or whether it's houses for people who are presently homeless. You will hear a comprehensive approach to the whole issue, because that's what's missing from the government and has been for many months.
OK, I appreciate you've got your announcement that you're wanting to keep. Nonetheless, we'd like to ask you a bit more about housing. The government's seemingly not interested in building homes itself. Is that something that Labour would like to get into, building more state houses?
Yes, and not just state houses, but actually the government leading a program of building houses, of affordable houses. That's what's missing right now.
Because you talked about that with Kiwi Build, didn't you?
That's right. And I think...
Does that policy still stand?
Well, you will see on Sunday, but we certainly haven't resolved from that in the 4 years or 3 years since we've announced it.
But there's going to be some sort of extension?
I think what you'll see is a comprehensive package that deals with all the issues that are current now in the whole housing area, because there are multiple aspects to it. There's the emergency housing issue right now, so people who need housing right away. There's what we do with social housing and state housing and the outfit that's there to run it. And then there's what do we do to get more houses being built, working with private developers and others to make sure that we get more houses, not just in Auckland, but in other parts as well. The government hasn't got a plan. They've done little bits here and there. Every time the pressure grows, they stumble over and tumble out a half-baked policy, which they've done yet again in the weekend. Ours is well thought, comprehensive, and you'll see that by Sunday.
But you can certainly say state houses are on the table if it was a Labour government?
Yes.
OK. What then about building more affordable homes, which was another key part of Kiwi Build? What is an affordable house? What does it cost these days?
Well, it'll vary from one place to another, and then, of course, it depends on what sort of type of house you have. But we think...
let's talk about Auckland then, for the sake of argument, because that's where the crisis, as some people call it, is biting the hardest. How much should an affordable house be in Auckland?
It'll depend on what type of house you have, and I think one of the things I'll be talking about is what should we expect in the 21st century, particularly as you get closer to the Auckland CBD. Should we expect the quarter acre section with a standalone house, or actually can we have well-designed, good, quality, well-constructed, high-density housing? And
can you give us a figure?
I will give a figure on Sunday, but we think that we've got a figure that is affordable. And
under 500,000?
It'll be around that kind of general ballpark. What is affordable in Auckland is different to what is affordable in, say, nightcaps. Not that there's a housing shortage in nightcaps, I understand, but it will differ from one part of the country to the other.
OK, so in terms of what this policy that you're going to be announcing will actually do to the housing market, and let's stick talking about Auckland because that's where it's the hottest. Yep. Arthur Grimes, just a few days ago, saying he thinks there should be 150,000 more homes in Auckland and a 40% price crash. Would you support that?
Well, there certainly have to be more homes. I'm not sure we're targeting even 150,000, but certainly, tens of thousands more houses over a period of time. But adding more housing supply, given the changes in population, the shift within New Zealand to Auckland, and external migration as well, doesn't mean to say the prices have to crash. You do need to add more houses, and they have to be at an affordable level, and that's what the priority has to be, and that's what we're focused on.
So you wouldn't want to see 40% down on the amount of money that it would cost to buy a house in Auckland?
Well, it's not what our plan entails, but we have our plan in terms of building more affordable housing has those houses, in my view, at a reasonable price for Auckland, and they'll add more houses, get people who are struggling to get their first home into a house, and it doesn't mean to say every other house price has to crash as a result.
Andrew Little, thank you very much for your time.